Hi, everybody, it's Erica back again from In the Company of Cards. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here a while, welcome back. I want to say a word about that. Back in the day, when I first started this channel, which was August of this past year, 2024, I think I maybe had at one point, I don't know, 300 subscribers. And I said to those viewers at the time, and if you were here back then, you will remember my having said this, that, listen, my objective is not to have zillions of viewers. I mean, it's great, but that's not really my objective. My objective is to create a space where I can say the things that I think need to be said, and whoever wants to hear them, they're welcome. And I said at the time, listen, you all, it may just be the 300 of us plus me for the duration of the channel. And that's okay because it means that you all are meant to be here. Well, as you are aware, the channel has grown uh, exponentially, I would say. We are at 29,268. I will say that I had hopped up to 29,275 yesterday prior to yesterday's video. And then I lost several people, probably as a result of that video. And that's okay. I thank all of you for leaving so many thoughtful, intelligent, um, kind comments about the video yesterday, and just know that I am lifted up by that support, but also know too that I am not pressed down by any detractors that I may have. People are absolutely allowed to disagree. I think that's fine. But if they cannot do what Martin Luther King enjoined us to do, which is to disagree without being disagreeable, if they can't do that, then bibbity bobbity boo, and I push the button and they're gone. As I've mentioned, when I do that, they don't realize that they're gone. They can still see my work and they can still comment, but I don't see them, nor do you see their comments. So they are howling into the wind, which I think is quite poetic justice. But on the subject of, what this channel is about and the fact that this is my space for me to do my thing, which is the work of my soul, which is opening you up to the possibilities of what spirit can do for us in our own real lived context. Um, I have a poem by one of my favorite poets. She's been one of my favorites since I was a little girl, uh, Emily Dickinson. I visited her grave and left a ring that I'd worn since I was a very young woman. It was quite valuable ring on the top of her headstone. So, if somebody came along and took it, then that's their karma, and I'm glad that they hope they wear my ring in good health. But I just wanted in that moment sort of to leave Emily Dickinson a token of my appreciation for how she has helped me navigate through my life. We can find our guides and our guardians in literature. So just know that if you didn't already. But anyway, there's a poem that she wrote, and it speaks to this idea of the importance of having your space be sacred and your soul's space be sacred. And also, not for nothing, your YouTube space be sacred. For me, that's how I see it. And that's how I see you. I see you all, you know, um, offering me an opportunity to be in sacred trust with you, that I will tell you accurately what I see, uh, share my thoughts as appropriate, and all for the highest good of all of us. So, anyway, here's Emily Dickinson's poem. And she never titled any of her poems. So you just, if you want to Google it, just put it in the first, Google, put it in quotation marks, the first line of the poem, and it'll pop right up. The soul selects her own society, just as I've done here. Okay. The soul selects her own society, then shuts the door to her divine majority. Present no more. Unmoved, she notes the chariots pausing at her low gate. Unmoved, an emperor kneeling upon her mat. I've known her from an ample nation choose one, then close the valves of her attention like stone, which is to say, you all who are here are welcome here. You will know when you are unwelcome here at the point that you feel unwelcome. And then feel free to absent yourself from my gate. Again, if we agree, that's great, but we don't have to agree. If we can disagree, it has to be agreeably. So anyway, that's that. Um, my poem for the day. There's a few things that I thought I would look at today. One of them is something that I have taken great delight and satisfaction from, which is the fact that Walmart has listed itself as having really lost a lot of money in the last quarter, and Target has acknowledged losing billions recently. Now, what happened? Why did they lose all that money? Walmart and Target, are they not America's one-stop shop for everything? Well, for those of you who don't know, and many of you do know, uh, there is both. First, it was Walmart, and then Target followed suit. And what they decided to do was to pull back, uh, eliminate all of their DEI initiatives. Many of those DEI initiatives were about the products that they stocked. Target particularly would have a lot of products marketed to Black people, and we loved Target for that. In fact, there is a if you read me on Substack, you see that I will have used this deck called the Black Tarot by Nyasha Williams. And I use her tarot cards along with Lenormand and an African oracle called the Adinkra to write my weekly Substack posts. I do those on Wednesdays, so check that out. It's also called In the Company of Cards. But the deck I've been using is that Black Tarot that a white friend of mine who's quite elderly, she's in her 80s, found me last year at Target during Black History Month. They did a big thing, big huge display, and they had some really cool stuff. And she got me this deck, and I love it. Um, but Target, along with Walmart, decided, yeah, they weren't doing that anymore, right? In the interest of being politically correct in the eyes of 47. So, as a response, Black people and people who are our allies have boycotted Target and Walmart. And Target, at least, has lost billions with a B, billions. Because, our voices may not be loud enough for you to hear, I guess, but our dollars speak volumes loudly and where we put our dollars. I don't know if you all know about the boycott. Don't buy anything from anybody on February 28th. And that's a response to 47 and his draconian cuts of everything everywhere all at once. So I wanted to know, we know that these entities, Walmart and Target, these corporate entities are just beside themselves because, that's a lot of money that they lost. Um, I would like to know, geez, what lesson do you take from that, Walmart and Target? Um, you know, What did you learn from that? I'm not necessarily optimistic that they learned anything. Uh, the stockholders of Target have said, "Oh, we didn't realize that you know that it was going to have that kind of effect. We didn't. Well, you know what? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Ignorance is no excuse. I'm just saying. So, I just want to know what is their next move? Uh, and I feel like I'm going to use, I think I'll use my scales card for that. Because one of the things that that card can mean is cost benefit analysis. And they will have had to have done a new cost benefit analysis based on the response of their consumers to their DEI rollback. So I'm going to use the scales card and I'm asking, what will they do? And you know what? I don't have to look separately at Target and Walmart. What one does, the other will do. So, okay. Schadenfreude, taking satisfaction in someone else's misery. Yeah, I pretty much do. I am really happy that they are suffering this financial hit because they should. We should always speak with our dollars. Okay, so let's see what we get. We're looking, remember, for the scales card, and that will be the decision that these entities will make. Why is that upside down? I don't know. Um, I have a thing. I always like to have my cards right side up. You do not read reversals in Lenormand, just so you know. I mean, you can do what you want, but it's not a thing to read reversals. Okay. So remember, this is the card that I myself added to the deck. I wanted an evenly weighted scale with heavy coins on one side, with light daisies, just a couple on the other, because according to the laws of metaphysics, this scale can be balanced. Not the laws of physics, but the laws of metaphysics. So they will have to decide, on their bottom line. Their bottom line's been really hurt because they chose not to do the right thing. And come to find out, had they done the right thing, their bottom line would have been where it was, or it would have improved because it would have proved to Black people that they were bucking the 47 uh, uh, edict that DEI should be DEAD. So let's see. Okay. Probably I'll move I'll add some more cards. We'll see to a couple of the cards here. We have the bouquet, we have the tree, we have the scales, we have the dog, and we have the key. Okay. So I'm just gonna say before I pull more cards that this initial look is like this. So um for a long time Walmart and Target were gifts to Black people, as Black people were gifts to Target and Walmart. This has gone on for a long, long time. We've loved us some Target. Okay, we got the scales in the middle, and what they are saying to themselves is, we need to win this consumer base back. That be seeming to be on their right side, a corporation that they can trust to deliver is the thing that will help us gain back our bottom line. But you know what? I'm just going to say, once you lose trust, it's very hard to get that back. That's why that expression, your word is your bond, is so important. So once you've lost trust, I mean, obviously, what do we now know? If we didn't know it before, if they bring back all that black oriented stuff, we know exactly why they're doing it. It's not because they think it's the right thing to do. It's because it's the financially expedient thing for them to do. And that's incredibly cynical. And it sort of engenders cynical feelings, I would think, on the part of the consumer base. Like, oh, now you want to be our friend. You didn't want to be our friend before because you wanted to be 47's friend. Now you want to be our friend. My hope is that in the interim, uh, uh, Black people will have found other ways to find those same products or make their own or go with a corporation that is doing the right thing. Like, I don't know, Costco. I'm getting a Costco membership. I mean, I don't, there are two of us in this household, so I don't need to buy in bulk, but I'm going to get a Costco membership just to show my appreciation for the fact that they did not go the route of Walmart and Target. So I can do some mirroring before I pull more cards. Um, and the mirroring is, it's going to take a long time. Tree is the card for a long time for them to be trusted by us again. Maybe never, but a long time. We are not going to flock back just because they'd have to make some, not just sneak this stuff back onto the shelves, but they'd have to make some big corporate statement. They'd have to do some big corporate hiring initiatives. They'd have to put DEI, BACK, and that will take time because I don't think they're quite there yet. I think they think if we just throw the stuff back up on the shelves, they'll come back. Wrong. Okay, so let's look at, I'm going to pull cards on the scale, the dog, and the key. Very interesting. So here we have the scales, and this is for the decision that these two corporations will make moving forward. So here they are moving forward. I don't know. You know what I think? I think they may say, in for a penny, in for a pound. Yeah, we lost those billions, but 47 will, I don't know, give that back to us in the form of corporate, tax benefits and things like that. So they're going to stay committed to their guy. Their guy is 47, not us. Uh, Here is the loyalty that people had to those companies, those corporations, but look at the clarifiers, the coffin, the lily, and the sun. So this is that loyalty. And remember, I showed you this combination before. It's rare that I see this combination, but when it comes up, it refers to death. So there is nothing that those corporations can do to win us back on the grand scale that they had us before. That is dead, and they know that. They are aware of that. And that's why they're going to say, okay, then we're in for a penny, in for a pound with 47. He'll save us. Okay. And then on the key, we have the cross, the bear, and the woman. Yes. So, what will they do? How will they recoup this money? Because they made this sacrifice for the narcissist 47. Making that choice has caused them pain. It's hit them in their pockets. I can't stop grinning because I'm delighted. And this was 47, who basically um, turned them from yang, powerful corporations, into yin, beholden to him, open and accepting of whatever largesse he decides to grant them in the form of subsidies and tax breaks and things like that. Um, you know, they made their bed, now they have to lie in it. Now, sadly, what I had hoped that I would see is that they would have had, a come to Jesus moment and say, oh my God, how stupid were we? Let us on our knees apologize and then do the right thing by that consumer base. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So there you go. Um, if you didn't know about Walmart and uh, Target in terms of that situation, now you know. And again, my money is going to go to Costco and to sort of locally based, uh, you know, um, smaller, um, privately owned stores and my own ingenuity. I can make it. Why would I buy it? Okay, the next thing that I want to look at is something interesting that is brewing. There is uh, what is she? An astrologer. Her name is Jessica Adams on Substack. And she had an article the other day that I thought was very interesting, talking about the fact that she had done a prediction back in 2024, well, which is just, 2 months ago, but at any rate, 2024, uh, foretelling the split or a split that she saw would happen in the Republican Party, and that the split would be seismic in nature and change the nature of the party for all time. I didn't really see that she wrote too many specifics about it, but it was interesting. Well, today I read an article by Jonathan Last at the Bulwark. You should Bulwark. He's really brilliant. And he wrote this article that might sound dumb in terms of the subject matter, except it's really not. So it's about a hat. The article is about a hat. So we all are very familiar, sadly, with the red MAGA hat experience. Elon Musk, president in fact, has taken to wearing a hat as well, but it's a MAGA hat, but it's not a red MAGA hat. It's a black MAGA hat. And Jonathan V. Last does a really interesting analysis of what it's all about. And it speaks to this schism that is developing in MAGA. So this is different from, the never Trumper Republicans who are small in number, I'm gathering. This is specifically about MAGA and a rift in MAGA. So what is the rift in MAGA? Well, the rift in MAGA is between what we'll call the Bannon faction and the Musk faction. The Bannon faction would be what we know MAGA to be, which is people who live in the heartlands and say that they just voted their pocketbooks because prices are too high, um, could very well also have other tendencies of the racist variety, but they're what we know as MAGA, right? The red hat, rah, rah, rah. Okay. Uh, the great unwashed masses, the cult. But then there's the other side. That side's led by Bannon. Then there's the Musk version. And those are that's the moneyed class of MAGAs, the tech bros, the broliarchs. And there is enmity between the two groups, hatred. Well, between the two men, I'll say, not so much between the two groups yet. But, as Jonathan Last points out, Trump is very aware of the visual of things, right? The golden staircase, um, the red hat, the glowering um, presidential photo that looks like the mugshot. He's very aware of that. Well, Musk is too. He understands the power of optics. So he has the hat that says MAGA, but it's a black hat. And it's sort of like MAGA on steroids. And it's making red MAGA look like, I don't know, your grandpa's MAGA. Like, oh, isn't that cute? That was the olden days. But no, we're the cool millennium MAGA 2.0. And I'd like, I mean, it's worth reading Jonathan Last's article in the Bulwark. If I can manage to link it, I will try, but if not, I will you know, um hashtag him in the show notes. Uh, I want to know where this is going to go because here's the problem. For 47, I mean, 47 is between a rock and a hard place. The vast majority of MAGA are the red hats. But those are the ones who are being dispossessed, disenfranchised, fired, and they can't afford eggs. So they are starting to say, wait a minute, we voted for you for this, but you're doing that, or you're not doing the thing that you said you were going to do, and you're acting like you don't care about that. So that's giving that side pause. The black hats are the ones, I guess, as I said, with the money. And 47 needs all of them. But 47, it seems to me, is quickly becoming a figurehead. And my theory is that what could happen is the black hat uh, faction grows and that the red hat faction shrinks. And when I say shrinks, I'm not saying that I think that the red hat faction will move over to the black hat faction. I don't think so. Remember that the black hats are the moneyed class, the oligarch class. My hope and my thought is that the disenfranchised, dispossessed red hat MAGA faction will look around and say, who is experiencing the same thing that we're experiencing? Can we join in coalition with those people? And who would those people be? Well, people of color and white people who voted uh, for Harris and progressive white people who think that maybe Harris wasn't progressive enough, which she wasn't. But anyway, it's an opportunity because then what we will absolutely face, in my opinion, is um, a ground that is ripe for a Bastille-like response to what's going on right now. What do I mean by Bastille-like? Well, you've got the black hat moneyed classes now owning everything and taking people's jobs from them and eliminating them and not doing anything about housing prices or food prices, et cetera. Let them eat cake. That's that faction versus everyone else who now feels their commonality with everyone else. That's the ideal scenario. Because here's the thing, they may have the money, but there's more of us than there are of them. And really, do they have the money? I mean, look what happened to Target. They've lost billions because Black people and their allies have said, oh, you're eliminating all your DEI initiatives, then we eliminate you. And they're suffering, they're losing billions. So I guess what I want to look at is I'm pretty sure that this civil war amongst the MAGA base is happening. And I want to know, will it mean more move over to our side? Or do they try to join the Black Hat MAGAs? Here's the thing. If your grandfather was the Red Hat MAGA type, you may love your grandfather, but you also want to be cool. You want the platinum hat, not the, cotton one. So could some of those Red Hat MAGAs be swayed by the Brolyarch, oligarch, moneyed classes, um, arguments and influence? Uh, I think we'll look at this. We'll pull three cards to see who will win. And again, this might not be a consequence that we see the evidence of overnight. I think this will take some time, but maybe not as long as we think. Who will get the upper hand? Who will win? And also, what will, I was going to say, what will 47 do? 47 is going to stand there like like a puppet and be pulled on by both sides until he's pulled apart and then disintegrates. Because he's serving as a figurehead. He's aging. He's not. So his value, his usefulness, even as an idiot, is decreasing by the minute. So I don't really care what he does. I'm not going to worry about what he does. I want to worry about which side will in the end win this war. Okay. And maybe I'm being simplistic about it, but that's okay. You do you, I'll do me. I just think this will be an interesting, fun exercise. So I'm going to put at the top the red hats because they were here first. Will the red hats win? The Bannon faction, will that win? Or will the Brolyarchs win? This is for the red hats. And this is the Brolyarchs. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, it didn't work out the first time when Marie Antoinette, which she didn't really say it, but let's pretend that she did, said, let them eat cake. This is for Brolyarchs. Snake, cross, crossroads, which makes me think that there will be an alliance between the red hats and the rest of us. And it will be an alliance against becoming a monarchy, a brolyarchy, an oligarchy, all of that. It'll be against that because this is being committed to American ideals, such that they are, and I'm moving forward to creating a more perfect union. That's what I think. And I think this old brolyarch, oligarch, money is everything thing will be cast aside. That's what I think. Again, as my mother would say, in the fullness of time, not today, not tomorrow, but I do not think Musk and his minions will win the day. And I think that Bannon, which is hysterical, what does he call him? Wait, hold on. Bannon is running around calling Musk a racist, uh, illegal immigrant. Well, I mean, on the racist front, Bannon, that's the pot calling the kettle black, because you're a racist too. But, maybe there are higher callings than racism to appeal to here. Again, what do they say? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So Bannon and his ilk may not be enamored of those of us who are of color, but they may become more enamored of us than they ever would of the Brolyarch class, which looks down on them. So this will be interesting to watch. I think in the end, the sans-culotte meaning the peasants, which are kind of all of us, will win, just as happened in France. So we'll see. Last thing. So apparently there has been a decree, I guess by RFK Jr., so this will come as no surprise, that there will no longer be public service announcements encouraging you to get a flu shot. So I am going to take this occasion on my platform, where I have selected my own society, which is all of you, to encourage you, if you have not done it yet, to get your flu shot. Flu is apparently running rampant, and flu complications are really serious and dangerous. They're saying that kids are coming in with neurological um, symptoms as a result of flu. And we know, of course, that it's not good for older people to get flu. So I'm going to encourage you to get a flu shot. If you're one of those anti-vaxxers, we can agree to disagree. Or if you really have an issue, you know what to do. Um, Agree disagreeably. I mean, no, agree agreeably. Uh, Otherwise, this is not your society, I guess, and that's okay. But get your flu shot, please, because the season is not thinking about being over. Hospitals are overwhelmed. And I'm talking about regular flu. I'm not even talking about bird flu, about which we will hear nothing from any official quarter. Um, so get your flu shot. Anyway, I am so grateful to those of you who are sticking with me, for all of you, your kind support, your financial support. I put that little button on there, and people have left me little tokens of their appreciation. I think that's great. I appreciate that. Um, and I will continue to do what I do the way that I do it. And I hope you'll stay. And I hope you'll engage with each other and with me in the comments. Please do leave questions for me. I had a question. A viewer asked me to look at the Obama marriage because there were rumors about a divorce. And I said I wouldn't. I wrote back and I said I wouldn't look at that because largely because for the sake of Michelle, because I think that she gave the country enough of herself during her very graceful and productive 8 years as First Lady. And I think that we owe her her privacy in return at the very least. So if you have questions that are not sort of gossipy like that in nature, I'm happy to look at them if I think my cards can answer those questions. So thank you so much for your support and all the ways that you've been supportive. Thank you, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.